A lecturer alongside two other lecturers were exposed in a video by BBC Africa, compiled by journalist Kiki Modi. The video is a product of a year-long investigation by BBC Africa Eye. Using undercover reporters posing as students, it revealed how female students are blackmailed and sexually harassed by male lecturers in exchange for better grades and mentorship. The focus was on two of West Africa's leading universities, the University of Lagos and the University of Ghana. This project was to expose how the epidemic of sex or sex for grade have left several victims traumatized for years. The people exposed includes Dr. Boniface, Dr. Samuel Oladipo, Dr. Paul Kwame Bukato, and Professor Ransford Gampo. Is it Jampo? Yeah. So the last two is from Ghana, and then the other two from the University of Lagos. I love the swift action from University of Lagos. At least they claim to have suspended them, and then the Foursquare Church too. Dr. Boniface is a pastor in Foursquare, and they've also
said it. Yeah,
so
like
he prayed for her.
I don't know.
So they released a statement yesterday
also. Thing come back.
Yeah, and then people start saying this is what was expected from COSA when the allegation for Fatou Ibu came up. But let's not even bring Fatou Ibu into this. Let's talk about
let's just focus on this.
sex for grades. I haven't experienced this, maybe because I was not opportune to go through the conventional staying in campus staying. I mean, when you're a hustler like me, you have to work and school. So it was a case of part-time studies. I had to do jobs and work and then school. So I wasn't in that space to be seen, to be harassed. And lucky me. But I'm not going to act like I do not understand this, or I've not seen people going through this, or I've not heard stories, right? And we all do, and which is why I'm really upset and unhappy at people who came online yesterday to feign ignorance and act like, oh, I've been through school. I went through the 4 walls of education. Nobody tried to molest me. Are you sure you were not doing something? Like, how would you even say that? Like,
even from that documentary, she went in and they were having a proper conversation, like a lecturer to somebody seeking an admission and all of that, and then you went from 0 to 100 just like that. That's to show you that that's what they actually do. Do you understand? So it's not like.
And I think they look out for the vulnerable ones.
She was even like, but that's not good,
she said it in the documentary.
She said that's not fair. And what about the people that are reading? What about the boys?
So they are paying.
That's the benefit of what you do now. You show them where they used to go and.
Code room. And also UNILAG has also
when
shut
it's
down
not like they are selling turkey.
Okay, this is a very serious case because I think this case, the case of this man is just like 4 down, 1 million or uncountable to go, because in almost every university, I can almost say that it is a fact that almost all the universities we have in the world, this is not just, it's not about Africa, it's not about America, it's just what happens generally in the world. Do you understand? So I think... But
the level or the extent it happens in this part of the world
is very high, right? Yeah. And there's this particular thing I picked on, and I wanted to talk about it on here, was when the man told her that I will report to your mom that you're being disobedient. It was a case of, if he has to stand against her, like word to word, they will believe him over her. And this brings me to the misplaced priority our society has kept on elders, pastors, teachers, professors, lecturers. I mean, especially when the child is a stubborn child, they don't even believe anything that comes from them. And we have a lot of kids out there that are going through this, and they are talking to their parents, but their parents don't even believe them.
They don't
we have the case of children reporting to their parents about pastors, teachers, or uncles.
Fellow church. You don't want to
do you understand? You don't want to go to church. You don't want to read. You don't want to read. Your lecturer cannot be lying. I know that man is a pastor. He can't do that to you. Imagine if this girl was a real victim. If she was a real victim and she goes back home to tell her mom probably come to school and say, lecturer, the man will just
call the man.
The man would turn
she's a very disobedient child.
I'm not saying we should not respect our elders.
They even start twisting and say, do
you understand? And you see, that's when you see so many witnesses, people that don't even know her will come and say, yes now. That's how she used to dress. That's how she acts. I mean, all these things gone. In my school, my uni where I went to, we have like two stories about a lecturer asking students for sex and all. And at the end of the day, yeah, they probably expelled the lecturer and all, but I don't think that's justice, because these people are still moving freely. They are still working somewhere else, and this thing is not stopping. I don't even think, I personally don't think they really feel bad. Apart from this social shame that happens to them, they just see it as it will pass. You know, you know that nobody says anything again.
I saw comments online, and then some people were saying, "Oh, that's why it's good to send your children to private schools. This is what you get from federal universities."
It happens in private schools.
And I was like, "Come on!" I went to Babcock. A lecturer impregnated a student while I was in Babcock,
Can you imagine?
And it's a Christian Seventh-day Adventist university. And that happened in a place like, so it's not whether or not a private, this lecturer just have this sense of entitlement that for us to give you admission or for you to pass my course, then you have to scratch my back, then I scratch your back. And I'm like, how does that even work when we should be talking about quality education? So are we going to get quality education? Because a lot of people will come out without even having nothing upstairs because they didn't learn anything in school. They scratch backs throughout their stay in school.
And a lot of...
like I know, I have a neighbor that she only goes to school during the exam period. But she's always...
Your neighbor is watching.
I hope she's watching too. Because I'm always telling her that not only when you get exam, you go to school. Because she schools in Imo State, but she's always in Lagos.
And I mean, like you said, a lot of students that don't have anything upstairs will graduate to good grades. And the ones that have a lot to give back to the society when they are done with school will probably drop out of school. Because it's not everybody that is ready to accept or say yes to whatever the lecturer wants.
Which was what happened to Kiki Modi. She actually dropped out.
She dropped out of school. She wanted to be a doctor, and her dream was almost ruined. Her doctor dream was ruined, but like she's doing well for herself now. But I mean, it's not everybody that is that strong to carry on. Imagine you dropping out of school and you're telling your parent that the reason why I'm dropping out of school is because a lecturer wants to sleep with me. It sounds very crazy, but it is what it is. Do you understand? I think that for me now, I think that the way we have EFCC as a body that is about the financial issues like fraud and all, we should have a body under the Nigerian
and
police.
also have the proper laws to give them the right
But I also want you guys to know that guys are also victims of this.
Yeah, you're very right.
Even though it's more rampant, but there are a lot of female lecturers that when you come to the house, they'll start judging. Well,
I mean, we even have lecturers that are gay.
I just want to add that.
Do you get?
Yeah, I just want to add that if you don't have anything tangible or reasonable, or you think you cannot relate on this sex for grades story,
don't just say anything.
Don't say anything, because there are so many opinions out there that you wonder if.
Imagine somebody saying that we're going to lose great professors because of this documentary coming out, because a lot of people, big professors are going to be exposed, so we should shut it down. And I'm like, why would somebody even say this? So the girls that their lives are getting ruined, they don't matter.